Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So the day of reckoning is near, and I am looking forward to it. But you know, when you have something that to me seems to be so beautiful, there's always some sour apples out there who find a way to try to turn what I think is something beautiful into something negative. And I'm not talking about having fun with the content and talking trash about Gerald Big Baby Miller, about Deontay Wilder, and just having fun with the content. I'm talking about some of these McNicholases out here taking it to the stupid. Now, this is the theme that's trying to be created right now. Now, you tell me if you agree. Some fans are out here saying that it's unfair how all the fighters are being treated outside of Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Now, I'm going to tell you, like you all, when I have time, I'm watching as many videos as I can watch. I watch the press conferences. I watch the weigh-in. I've seen the little clips of guys having conversations. Gerald Miller out there trying to bully everyone, becoming a Muslim. Deontay Wilder's interviews. Anthony Joshua went from being awkward to finally being normal and doing interviews. But I haven't seen or picked up that anyone feels they're not being treated fairly. Every single fighter out there seems to be very respectful of each other and seems to be very grateful for being allowed to participate on this fight card. And these guys are getting big time money, and it looks like most of them, I believe all of them, may have signed 2-fight deals, so they'll be returning to Saudi to fight. So when I hear people saying, "Oh, they're treating Joshua being treated favorable, Deontay Wilder's getting privileged treatment," I don't think that's the case. But what I will say is, when you look at all those fighters over there, right? Who's the two big dogs out of all those heavyweights? Who's the two big dogs who have proven themselves, right? I mean, Usyk and Fury aren't there. It would have to be Wilder and AJ. All right, both of those guys have been in the fights for the biggest amounts of money out of everyone there. I mean, it's really all about those two, because this whole thing is to determine a winner with AJ and Wilder and Parker, so that Wilder and AJ can boost their profiles and boost the interest of those two going into a fight. My understanding is that deal is signed now. If both of them win, they'll be fighting in March. So this thing, what people are saying, this is horrible how they're showing favoritism to AJ and Wilder. That I don't think that's the case. But that's the headliner and the co-main. What are you talking about? What are they supposed to do? Come out here with Arslan Makhmudov and have him sitting on the opposite sides of I don't want to butcher it. I just call him like of His Excellency. Is Arslan Makhmudov supposed to get more money than AJ and Wilder? Big Baby Miller sold his whole pay-per-view, no doubt about that. But all of a sudden now, what are we supposed to be doing? They're not equal. When it comes to this boxing and boxing status and boxing accomplishments, they're not equal. And every fighter out there knows that. You got a couple guys fighting, in cruiserweight and light heavyweight, but they know. They all know their positions. And I mean, come on now. I think we need to be a little fair. But what I will say is, Deontay Wilder, in my opinion, he seems to be lending a lot of his time to the cameras, to interviewers. And in particular, they somehow managed to pack Ellie Sack back down there in the carry-on luggage, snuck his ass and stuck him in the overhead compartment and brought him to Saudi. So Ellie Sackbach is doing a whole bunch of damn videos, and he's posting stuff. So you got to understand what's really going on. You know what I mean? If I see Kugan Cassius is out there, and for the most part, Kugan Cassius was doing things, what seemed to me, exclusively with AJ and Eddie Hearn for years. All that crap happened with Kinahan, and even Kugan has kind of gone into hiding. So I think what they're doing is fair. I think all the fighters are happy. And I think those fighters are very fortunate because this what's going on right here, this is historic. You look back 20, 30 years from now, this picture, these guys will be able to look back at that and talk about it. Guys like Andy Ruiz missed his opportunity. I know he was getting surgery or whatever, but he missed his opportunity. There are a lot of fighters out there who had a chance to fight on this fight card. And there are guys who just turned down the opportunities. And you can understand if they come to somebody on a 5-week notice, say, hey, we need you to come and fight Dimitri Bivol. Them guys, man, I said, their buttholes get tight. They get the pucker factor. And then he start asking, hey, so what do you think about that? They get peanut butter in their mouth. Right? That peanut butter get in their mouth. They don't want shit to do with that 5-week turnaround. But you take a look at what we have here. These are the guys who actually wanted to make the fights and were okay to just risk it all. That being said, I think this is a great thing. And what I do think is interesting is Teddy Atlas has gone on record and he's kind of commented on a few things. More so who he thinks is going to win the fights. Who he feels will win these fights. And in particular, with Deontay Wilder and Parker, he felt that, Deontay Wilder should get the win. Unless Parker can just outbox him and just not get knocked out, then Parker can probably go on to win a decision. But they know at some point Deontay's going to land. With Anthony Joshua, he feels Joshua can counter Wallen, hit him with something hard, possibly get a knockdown. But he says, his mind says, go with Joshua for how big and strong he is. He says, but his heart is saying, you know what? He's going to pick Wallen for the upset because Wallen is a master boxer, a southpaw. He has reach equivalent to AJ's, speed, footwork. He basically is the closest thing when you add 2-3 inches on top of Usyk, the closest thing you can get to fighting Alexander Usyk, but a much bigger version. And I don't quite agree with that. Wallen is no Usyk, but there are some things that he does. He'll go in there and he's got a little bit of fancy feet. He got some footwork. He'll keep busy. He uses angles. And I already said this. His secret weapon, Otto Wallen's secret weapon, is Joey Gamache. You don't know who Joey Gamache is? Go look him up. I think his last name is Gamache. Joey, Joey, Gamache. You go out there and take a look at him and understand his background. The man was an amazing fighter, and he's been doing amazing things as a trainer. And I think this is going to be a tough fight for Anthony Joshua. And for Deontay Wilder, I think he gets the knockout, but I'm paying attention to that fight because if you've been following the videos I've been posting, I do think there's some shady business going to take place with Joseph Parker. And, I'll come back to this video and I will cut this little snippet out and put it into a YouTube short if, in fact, Joseph Parker's name ends up in some BS behind the Wilder fight. Because I like Joseph Parker, but I'll tell you what, he's on this huge platform and I was praising him, right, because I grew up around a very diverse area and had a lot of cats out there, man, with Samoan cats from New Zealand, Australia, but they, for the most part, parents were Samoan, right? And we all moved real good together. You know what I'm saying? My family from the Caribbean and shit, so there were a lot of things. Once you island people just have a lot in common. No matter what island you're from, you just, and the kids kind of understand certain things. It wasn't nothing. They come over my crib. If I got saltfish, tomato with green banana, cassava, you know what I'm saying? And eating that shit. Them cats right there, they know what that is because they be eating similar stuff. It ain't cooked the same, but similar. Cats from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. If I got, provision, sweet potato, yuca, cassava, edos, plantain and shit. You know what I'm saying? Them cats come over, man, they right there. They diving in that shit head first, so it's a common ground. But when I had somebody say, yo, you speaking so positively about Joseph Parker, is he really that nice of a guy based on what your experience is? I'm like, well, I never met him. And he's like, go check this out. So I went and, followed the trail to see what the hell he's trying to lead me to. And boom, a big-ass article about Parker being mixed up in some craziness. And I'm like, yo, more I read like 3-4 articles, and I was like, damn, I didn't know that. So it makes you wonder, Parker's really mixed up in, now, it didn't say this, but if he had some kind of ties to Daniel Kinahan, and now he's over there and been hanging out with Tyson Fury, just makes you wonder. You know what I'm saying? It just really makes me wonder. What is Deontay Wilder going to walk into when he gets in that ring with Joseph Parker? Some people are going to say it's ring rust. Some people are going to say he's learned too many new things from Malik Scott. Other people are just going to say, well, Parker's fought 4 times this year. He's been active. He's a big, strong a Polynesian cat. And that's what Wilder ran into. Wilder never fought elite opposition. When he did, against Tyson Fury, he lost. Luis Ortiz was, an old Cadillac with 250,000 miles on it. Bermain Stavern really wasn't all that. He lacked discipline. People are going to sit there and shoot holes in Deontay Wilder stuff if he loses. But I don't think we should shoot holes in it. I think we should stop and really ask the question, how does Joseph Parker all of a sudden go from, for the most part, winning decisions to all of a sudden now tranquilizing Deontay Wilder? So I'm gonna be paying attention. But that being said, man, it looks like all the fighters are happy. I don't see how anybody can say that this is negative and that there's no future for these guys if they lose, or there's no future for Saudi Arabia if the fights don't go as people feel that they should, almost like it's scripted. I just think people are getting too far ahead of themselves. We can have fun with the content. We can make some jokes, talk serious, but we can't just come out here and just blatantly take it to the stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn. The fight hasn't even happened yet. Y'all out here talking about someone showing bias to AJ. If anybody, I think, got the most camera time out there, it's Gerald Big Baby Miller, man. Maybe it's between Gerald Big Baby Miller and Deontay Wilder. But I would say Big Baby Miller. If you're going to stay there with bias to anyone, it's Big Baby Miller. So y'all got to stop all that. Miller out there, man, in everybody's face. He's talking, joking with everyone. I think people like him. He's like a big teddy bear, just loud and obnoxious, but deep down, away from the cameras, you can tell he's got some good in him. He's just crazy. But unfortunately, he has, that history with the drugs and stuff. He said he's going to provide a lot of information to everybody soon. So I hope he does, because if he can shed some light on what transpired and give us some facts, that may help with the momentum that he's that he's garnering right now, and may help to put him back in a positive light. Plus, he went out there, man, and converted to or I don't know if he converted from another religion, but he accepted Islam, so I just don't see it that way. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. Man, I still got some running around to do, but man, tomorrow gonna be crazy. I don't want to miss none of these fights. And I don't think y'all should miss them either. And I don't think there's any bias I don't think anything's happening that's not warranted. If Wilder and AJ have their own homes that they're staying in, or if they're in a hotel and they're up there in the damn Prince Palace or something like that, you gotta look at their status out there. The main and co-main, they're gonna get treated a little bit differently. That doesn't make it wrong. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. 7 continents. Breeze.